Okay, so now it is time, people, for the co-main event. It's not just the co-main event either. It's the first of our title fights. Yes, we have got the flyweight strap on the line. It is Joshua Van in his first defense against Tatsuro Taira. And damn, this is a fun ass fight, right? This is definitely a fun ass fight, right? So, Tatsuro, the best Taira. I did think he had a different nickname, you know what I mean? But anyway, he's 26, 5'7", 70-inch reach. Right, he's 18-1 overall. He's on a 2-fight win streak. Okay, so in the UFC, he's 8-1. 8-1. You know what I mean? His only loss was against Brandon Royval, and that was a split decision. Got 5 tonight. Right? Now, he made his UFC debut back on the 14th of May 2022. Right? Beat Carlos Candiero by unanimous decision. Then beat CJ Vergara, second round armbar. Performance of the night. Right? Got performance armbar this time in the first round against Jesus Aguilera. Okay, so from there, he beats Edgar Chavez, unanimous decision. He stops Carlos Hernandez in the second. So from there, he beats Alex Perez, second round performance of the night. That gets him in title contention, and he fights Brandon Royval. First main event, as I said, doesn't go his way, right? But, you know, from there, he bounces back, right? He hits Hong Song Park with a face crank in the second, and then stops Brandon Moreno. So it's like, yo, okay. Now, before he came to the UFC, Tatsuro was just doing his thing over in Shuto. Right? He's was winning in Shuto. I thought he'd fought in Risen as well, but I don't. It's not showing. Right? But, man, like, he's been tearing it up. Right? Tearing it up. And everyone knew that he was, like, one of the best flyweights outside of the UFC. So it just made sense that he came across, right? Made a lot of sense, and everyone was crazy excited when he did. And man, he was looking phenomenal. It was just like there was a point where you're just like, he's just not getting finishes, and then he started getting finishes, and you're just like, yo. But I think in the last few fights, we've seen him definitely mature, right? He's definitely got bigger, you know, which is good for the weight class. Hockey, like big people, but you know, still small because they're small. You know what I mean? But it's just like, yeah, now he can really challenge, right? And I think that's the big thing. His ground game is great. He's not necessarily a wrestler, but he has, you know, his striking is not a joke, right? His striking is decent. Right, when you think about a lot of jiu-jitsu people, sometimes the striking ain't really, you know, like René Derrida. Not Tatsuro has got better striking, So he has got the tools to get this done. But there's having the tools to get it done and getting it done, right? So he has to go up against the reigning champion, just 2 years younger, 24, 5'5", 65-inch reach. That's Joshua, the fearless Van. Does need a better, nickname, right? Because, yeah, it's just, come on, man. Like, the mystery van. He could be Scooby-Doo. Utility van, right? Because he's got mad skills. You know what I mean? Like, come on, Joshua. Get with a better nickname. But Joshua has been doing his thing for sure. Right? He has been doing his thing. And let's have a look. Right, so he is 16-2 overall. So they've got similar records. He's 9-1 in the UFC. He made his UFC debut in 23, right? He was meant to be on the Contender Series that year, but got a short notice call, right? Took the fight and got a split decision win over Zagelis Zumagulov. You know what I mean? He then beat Kevin Bohoras, who he was actually intended to fight on the Contender Series. So he gets the win. He then, right, Felipe Bunes stops him in a second, right? There was, a fight against Tatsuro that was going to go down in 2024, but that didn't happen, right? He lost, got stopped. Charles Johnson, crazy uppercut in the third. A fight Johnson was losing, you know what I mean? First loss, right? But he bounces back. Then Cody Durden, both go the distance, right? Beats Ray Taira, goes the distance, stops Bruno Silva in the third. That was a phenomenal fight, right? He was winning that fight. Winning the fight clearly. Looking really good, but Silva was just, man, he was absorbing everything. So it wasn't anything Van was doing wrong. But it's just Silva was tough. But then in the third, just lands a strike and it's done. And so, he gets that. Now, Brandon Royval, I believe he was meant to be fighting Manuel Cap. But Cap got injured. As they were talking that would be the title contention fight, right? And Van was like, you know what? I'll take it. You know what I mean? And hey, they gave him the fight. And fucking Van won. And it wasn't even a, close affair. Really just stepped up gear. I think everyone thought he had it, but they thought this might be a step too soon, too fast. You know what I mean? But, he stepped up, got the win. So then gets a title shot, right? December last year. Wins the fight. Right now, he won the fight due to an injury to Pantoja. The crazy thing with this is, right, roasting him. When you saw how, and hey, that's not me saying they should, but with the way people treated Aljo for taking an illegal knee from Yan, right, and winning the belt, You would that they would do the same, but they didn't, right? Which is crazy interesting, you know? Crazy interesting, right? That it just seems that for whatever reason people don't like Aljo. You know what I mean? Bonkers. But yeah, won the belt. He's the champ. Now, obviously, right, there needs to be a rematch. But Pantoja broke his arm, so he's out of action. So now we get the Tatsuro fight. And this is a great fight. Right, as I said, it was meant to go. So, what's going to happen now? Now, it's a flyweight, so they are both fast. Right? They are both fast. The big difference with this is the jiu-jitsu, right? That's a big difference. Now, jiu-jitsu, right? He won a Fury FC belt, right? He won the vacant belt with a rear naked. So, you know, I mean, he knows stuff. He had a calf slicer in Fury, right? But they're levels. You know what I mean? We know this shit. There's levels to this. So, that's the big one, right? Tatsuro has the jiu-jitsu. He's got dynamic striking. Van's got dynamic striking. So it's very close. Tatsuro has got a reach advantage. And we've seen he's definitely muscled up, right? So that is a super close fight. But I will say, I think I'm leading to the best, right? I think I'm leading to Tatsuro Taira picking up the strap. I think that might make him the first Japanese flyweight champion, right? I think. But yeah, listen, I think, you know what I mean? You times and it could be a pick'em. But on Saturday night, I believe Tatsuro Taira will utilize his jiu-jitsu to get a win. You know? To get a win. And we know Van can scramble, but that's the dangerous hour, right? The scrambles. So yeah, Tatsuro Taira getting the win and set up for a monumental finish to UFC 328.